Good day, everyone, and welcome to the episode number 20 in our series of Smart City Plan. Here we are. This is it, episode 20, and off camera I've done some work and I've added some more offices, I've added some more farms, I've added some more commercial buildings, and I've added some more high density people living in tower places. So we've been doing some stuff. I also, and this is worthwhile pointing out, down here, you may recall, I extended our road down here, came around this side and filled in some water because I thought I would be expanding out in this direction. But then again, I was looking at the map and noticing, you know what, we are pretty crowded. We could squeeze in some more stuff, but we're only up to 17,000. And, you know, when you look at the map, you know, even the mini map down here, there isn't much land left. So I was beginning to wonder about, would we ever make the 50,000 that we needed, or even, you know, the 20, the 24, the 30, the 35, and or the 50 to reach our goals. So I thought I'd go back and have a look at the first episode because I have a vague recollection in the back of my mind that we didn't pick the large map. And I was right. When I went back and had a look, we picked the medium map. And there are two map sizes bigger than medium that we could have picked. And I suspect that we're not going to reach our target of 50,000 because, yes, that's right, we don't have a big enough map. So, today's episode, or this particular episode, is going to be the last episode for now of Smart City Plan, because quite frankly, look at it. I mean, just look at it. We're full as a goog, which, by the way, is a short version of an Australian expression being as full as a googie egg, because an egg, you know, like in the shell, it's pretty full. There's no space in there, so that's what that means, full as a goog. And we're not going to get much. I mean, we can squeeze, right? But at the moment, what I was doing, putting offices and more blocks in, is just finding empty spaces and just shoving stuff in there. So I feel that we're kind of done with this. So I'm going to use a little bit of time to do a review of the game. I like the game. I think it's a good game. It's not a you know, Sim City or a City Skylines game, but it's a good, fun game that can get you involved. And you work out little things like, we discussed in our last episode, for example, the differences in the number of employees between real industrial buildings, 122, farms, which, you know, are by the tile, and if you get a building, you get up to 20, and then offices, which like there, well, that's 60, but then if we go over here, I think that's an office. That's 145. So you have to get offices. Now, I don't know the mechanics, but it does appear that the trade-off is that when you first start out, you probably want these things, which are the industrial buildings, with 128 people working in them, and you know that's a 3 by 3 square, so that's a good use of space. Actually, I'm going to pause this for a second. But what you're always trading off is, for example, pollution. I mean, you know, sizable pollution and a sizable pollution footprint. See how far out it goes. Doesn't seem to affect the farms though, but it does create a problem. And then noise, you know, also very bad for noise, so not good there. Then you go, farms. If you have a look at farms, we got more farms up here, by the way. The farm building themselves creates a little bit of noise, but the surrounding area is quite not noisy. And pollution, a tiny bit, but not a whole lot, you would have to say. I mean, it got a little bit of pollution, but not a lot. Whereas this over here is pretty good. So they're trading off that. But then if you come down here, right, and we look at the offices, let's just remember that, and we're going to have a look. So pollution-wise, offices, no pollution. And then noise-wise, none, right? So you want to get your high density and your offices kind of in the same place, and then out on the fringes is where you're going to put your polluters. Now, the other thing we found out too was that pollution is long-lasting. So let's just have a look at this for a minute. So that, I don't think that was the original polluter. I think the original polluter around here was a coal-fired power station. Actually, I want to see if that's true or not. I want to see if that's true. And I want to see if that's true by demolishing this. And see how long it takes for the pollution to go. Oh, so I was wrong. I thought pollution over here was persistent, but it's not. Okay, well, that's good. So we can clean up pollution quite readily. That's more industrial zones. Oh, well, man. Okay. So, you know what? Let's put some more offices in. We got space. Yeah, we got space over here. Actually, let's put it there. We'll put another office block or two in there. Because we're in the centre of the city now. We can do this. Ooh. Put 2 in. See how it goes. And put a 3 over here. So we figured that out. We also figured out that churches and stadiums and things, mind you, it didn't actually tell us it wanted one when we added it. It does say things like it needs more public transport and stuff. So I think, we've played the game well enough and long enough to know industry, and we've also done it for things like, now let's have a quick look at this. We did happiness, and we worked out, for example, happiness. You can have your issues like traffic and stuff. Traffic, I have not got my handle around yet. I haven't got a handle on yet, I should say. We can put in buses, and we can put in trams. I like the trams. I like the buses. I do like the trains. And the city does tell you that it wants these things like buses, trams and train stations. But again, you've got an issue where you've got noise from the train stations. It's not terrible, but it's still there. And hypertubes, seem like a good idea. They're very expensive, and I don't know that they produce much benefit, frankly. So I'm not really sure I understand the transport thing. I mean, look at the gridlock. Hang on, let's look at traffic for a minute. Look at it. And I don't understand how to, Now, there are things you can do with roads, right? Like tree line and slow traffic and with lights. But they don't fix the basic problem of you've got too much traffic. But if you look at this area here, now, we'll just put this in the centre of the screen for a minute. See that? that road right there, and I'm going to put my finger on the screen, which of course you can all see, and I'm going to go to public transport and do a comparison. If I can find public transport, there it is. Look at that. Public transport in that road, in that area, is, well, it's not so good. Hang on, it's not so good around here, right? But this is solid, almost the highest concentration of public transport, and almost up here as well. And yet, go back to traffic, and they're red zones. So I don't understand. Public transport, as it stands here, is not such a good answer. Unless, of course, the real solution lies in the subway, which, very well might. I don't know, it very well might, but we haven't got the subways, and I don't think we're going to get there, frankly, on this map. So that's that. So, now, and that's pretty straightforward. So how do you deal with this? Well, quite frankly, I'm not sure. Maybe, if you could just have pure public transport. Actually, now there's a question. Can you do that? Roadway divider. Narrows the road, forces... No, more slowly. Decoration only. Sense of security. Causes... Oh, it reduces traffic congestion. I mean, we can try that and see how we go. All right, let's try that. Let's see how we go. I mean, quite frankly, can't hurt us. This whole tree line thing here. The other thing that I don't know either is whether I can have multiples. I wonder if Oh yeah, I can, because the slow is still there. Okay, all right, you can have multiples. So let's go back and watch the traffic for a minute and see if it makes a difference. Oh, some of the red's gone. one square of red's gone on each end of the road. So no, not that effective. Not that effective at all. So that's that. Now, in terms of some complaints about the game, or possibly not even complaints, probably could be made better. How about that? Could be made better. Because, the game is enjoyable. No doubt about that. You can play it the way it is, and that's fine. And I get that Ambiera haven't put a lot of things in, like, for example, being able to rotate the map, which you can't do. You can't rotate the view. You can't rotate the placement of buildings. And I was a bit thing about that with, we'll just take this away for a second, with the train stations. The fact that you have to have particular train stations for particular directions is a bit irksome. But the one thing, I mean, that, and I can deal with that. The one thing I really, excuse me. Oh, hello. We've got stuff going off in the background. Just hang on 1 second. Wait for my mobile phone to stop ringing. Apologies if you can hear that, but now I'll put it on silent. Good plan. Right, so the one thing that does sort of get to me is that I like that you can have trams running without a road, but if you put a tram line on a road and you use the delete key, you delete both of them. And you can't... Actually, now I'm going to double check this before I say this. I'm pretty sure... See there, we just got rid of that whole thing. Now, if I go and put a tram line back on there, it's not going to reinstall the road. Right? But I think I have to put a road back there as well. like so. Yeah. Oh, and I've done it here as well. Okay. And that's another thing too. It's not easy to see, when you have an earthquake, when the road goes away. So that's one. The other one is it's really difficult to find the bus stops and the tram stops. Really difficult to find the bus stops and the tram stops when you're trying to organise things. And I appreciate that the game organises, the public transport once you put the stops in and the lines. That's fine. You don't have to schedule buses and things. So that's all good, but not a big fan of that one. So there's that and there's that. And apart from that, it's a nice game. It is really just a nice, fun game to play. To me, a little bit more enjoyable than their other game, which was Business Magnate, because it's a different sort of game. Now, they've got a new game coming out. Ambiera's got a new game coming out about transport, transporting goods and people and all that sort of stuff. I'm very keen to play that because their titles have been enjoyable and good fun games to play. And I definitely will come back and play this game. In fact, I definitely will come back and play this game on the large map because I want to get the 50,000 population. But actually, I've just been thinking about this. And I really think I'd like to try something just before we finish with, Smart City Plan. I'd like to devolve our city. We've spent an enormous amount of money getting to this point. I think we should go back to being a little country town. Ooh. Maybe. Now, actually, let's do another experiment because I want to do an experiment while we're here. I want to see if you categorically, absolutely have to have roads. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is very wasteful of money, but so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Actually, let's do probably 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, actually, that's not going to work, is it? No, it is not. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I'm messing this around for you all, and I don't mean to. Y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's a bit better. 1, 2, 3. And now that we've also learned, of course, that in some cases 2 from the road is ideal, and in other cases 3 from the road is ideal, depending on, of course, what you're building. So there's a tram situation there. I'm going to put a tram station in to make sure I cover everything. And that's point number 2. Once you click on tram station, you should be able to put. It's not connected. You should be able to put tram stations everywhere. I wonder if you can use the shift key. Ah, yes, you hold the shift key down. There you go. So where it goes to there. It's very difficult to count this in. I think there's probably in the middle. And we'll go and put it there. Okay, so that is a closed tram loop. Now, previously, everything has had to be on a road. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Actually, let's just go for 2. And we're probably going to need some power because I'm pretty sure there's no power over there. Yeah, okay, like that. Okay, we'll put some power in. Yeah, you got people, no water? What? I thought I covered the entire map. No, the answer is no. I have not covered the entire map. I lied. But it's okay because I lied more to myself than I did to you. And that, and that. Okay, now let's not have any more complaining, thank you. All right, so there's no religion. Oh, of course there isn't. Let's put an industrial in over here. We'll put a 2 in and see if that works. And again, we're going to have to put some power in because there's no power anywhere. You know what? It's an experiment, for goodness sake. Let's just do it. It's not complaining about there not being a road. Okay, hold on. I'm easy. Am I really? I can't put you there because of the power lines. See, okay, that's another complaint. You know, you should be able to put something there and have the power lines, like, get out of the way. Ah, yeah, no road access. Now, I know categorically that they're in, they can be, actually, I wonder if I just stuck a road that went nowhere in, whether it would be happy with that. Yep, it would be. Well, that could be one way. That could be one way to sort of cheat the system and get things working to our advantage. Actually, I've just come down here for a sec. Look at that. Remember how we spoke at an episode before about the recycle bins? There they are. In Australia, yellow is containers, blue is cardboard, green is vegetable, but that's not recycling, that's waste in Australia. Like tip waste. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible to do something like this. And of course there are policies as well, which we've added. But the other thing is it's difficult to tell what effect these things have on the game and particular parts of the game. It's not at all intuitive. There's no explanation, so it's a bit tricky. But that was a nice experiment, and I'm glad we did that. So I want to devolve our city. So we're just maybe a couple more episodes, I think, maybe see how we go, but we very quickly devolve our city. You know, we can start actually today, just very quickly devolving our city, because what we would do is we would find the centre of our city. My gosh, see, we can't even, like, find it anymore. I think that's it there. Hold on. I think that's it. No, yes, no, yes, no. It used to have a park in it. Did I take the park out? What's that? Oh, no, that's the park. Oh, wow. Yeah, other complaint is it's really hard to see what's going on in this place when you do stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to devolve our city. I'm going to start devolving our city. You know, if you want to role play it, the world has had a change of heart. And we've decided that big city dwelling isn't where we want to be anymore. Our citizens want to be... see, there's no medium either. It's just... I'm going to go high tax. Be- because I can. Really, that's my answer. Did I take the park out? Oh, I didn't want to take the park out. I took the park out. Gosh. Everyone. Wow. Not good. Alright, I'm going to put the park back in. No, that wasn't the park apparently. Park's over here. Okay, that's the park. So we've got religion and the park all in the one spot, and we are, because it's the centre of our city, it's high tax zone. There you go. And we have commenced devolving our city. Now, of course, what this is going to mean to us in the long term is that we're going to have too much industry in our city and we're going to have abandoned buildings. But, you know, we can deal with that. And of course we do have wasted space because of the size in the centre here. And of course, just one more experiment, because we're like that. If we put a park in the middle, is it going to complain that it doesn't have a road? Yes, it is. See, building has no road access. It's like, well, golly gosh, Batman. So we may even have to develop all our road networks too, because we don't want to be wasting that much space, do we? Although, mind you, I could fill it in with trees and it could look very nice. And I could put water features in it. Or we could put a subway in. Well, we don't know about subways yet. Does everything need a road? I guess not. Oh, actually, I want... I could actually... No, I better not. Now I'm just thinking and going to make myself annoying. Okay, okay, so obviously that's not a workable solution because we're wasting way too much space. But we can do the 3. See, look at that, heavily taxed residential building. That's what that is. So ideally, yeah, we could do, oh yes. I just had a wonderfully wicked idea. I did. I'm going to start now. I mean, why not, right? I mean, we're redeveloping our city. It's the kind of thing we can do. We're going to make a nuisance of ourselves and spend tons of money bulldozing things and moving down here and doing the same thing down here. Yep. Just like that. Just like that, we got rid of things. And I'm going to put a tram line in. Well, mainly and primarily and possibly even only because I really like trams. And I reckon that's not a bad way to go, actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's no actual real middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Okay, there you go. Trams. And who doesn't like a good tram? High tax. Like high tax. high tax. Oh, you know what? And then we could put another one through here and do the whole thing. Yeah. Kind of like this. Kind of, but not exactly the same. And put a road through here. Like this. And straight away we've dropped the population by 2,000 people. Yeah, so that's exciting, don't you think? And we're going to get rid of that Hyperloop because it just is pointless. Absolutely pointless. So devolving our city back down, and I think a couple of episodes of that. Then, of course, there'll be another game coming along pretty soon, and that should be fun for us all. So I think that's today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. We can still play around with things. It's pretty good. And this has almost been Smart City Plan, brought to you by Grumpy as Gamer. And I will look forward to seeing you again at the Gig Channel when you come back. Until then, please stay well, everyone, and look after yourselves. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.